to the channel, and today we're going to talk about the Candy Indy Evo. Now these headphones are normally retailed at $69 to $79 depending on where you shop. Sometimes you can find them on sale at Best Buy for $59. Now I did purchase them for $29.99 if you're looking at the price. I got them from Ross, so it was kind of more of a lucky buy. Figured I'd pick them out, do a little review, and just let you go how these actually are. So first things first, we're going to talk a little bit about specs. Now these do get 6-hour battery life in the ear itself, while 24 in the case. So it does give you a total of 30 hours. They're IP55, so when it comes to water or sweat, if you're in the gym, that's what you need them for. You'll be perfectly fine. You shouldn't have any issues with, your headset getting not corroded, but just too much liquid, because that does typically damage cheaper headsets, especially those that don't have water resistance. Good news is that you could use left ear or right ear by itself. Skull Candies used to have it where the left ear was the primary, which was super weird, but I'm glad they did away with that, especially given the fact that, sometimes you want to use your left, sometimes you want to use your right, whatever you're comfortable with, but having both options is always good, especially if you misplace one by mistake, you can still use it until you get another headset. Let's see, what else do we have here? 10 minutes will actually give you 2 hours of charge if you look right here. So they do have rapid charging, which is typically what most headsets have nowadays. But 10 minutes for 2 hours actually isn't bad. Actually not bad at all. Now when it says enhanced fit and size, this is what actually comes inside of the box itself, outside of the headset, as you can see. It comes with your little wingtip thing. I'm going to call them wingtips right here, where they actually go on top of your device, and it helps fit inside of your ear. You see them right here. So I actually switched these already to the smaller ones that fit my ear better. What I will say is that they give you extremely extremely snug fit, and it does feel pretty good over time. I've had my ears for about 2 to 3 hours at a time, and I didn't really get any ear fatigue. I mean, I did get a little soreness at times. That's when I twisted and moving around. But for the most part, if we wear them for a long period of time, it doesn't really hurt. That's just what I was doing. I was, moving around, doing different things, jogging, just really trying to test them out. Anywho, this also does use USB-C, so that's a good thing. But oops, that's laying on the table. But we'll definitely look into the headset in a moment. So let's just finish reading a couple more specs, and then we're good to go. So there is a way to change the equalizers to movies, podcasts, and music. I'm going to show you how to do that. Basically, you hold one of the buttons on the headset itself, but we'll definitely review all those things. In addition to that, we're also going to talk about, how good is the call quality, which I'll do a sample near my job. We'll do the call quality so you can actually hear how the speaker sounds, typically with some type of background noise. And we'll go from there. Anyway, so don't need to open the box. It's just a bunch of booklets inside of here. You have all the accessories here. It does come with extra rubber tips, large and small. So you have large, small, and medium that are already on the device. Like I said, it is USB-C. It does not have wireless charging, which is perfectly fine. Not everything needs to. Honestly, still feels a little cheap, like the typical Skull Candy cheap cases. But what I will say is that I actually like the way this case feels. It's small enough where it has a groove and an indent right here where it's easy to carry. I know it's harsh on another Skull Candy headset, which is deserved. But in this particular one, it does actually feel a lot better, especially when you pull it out of the case. I just grab it by the top. It's super easy. You have the little rubber on the side. When you take these out of the case together, they both do sync together. And that's when you go to the Bluetooth settings, that is how you actually sync your headset. So just to give you a good look at that. It's actually very, very comfortable. And the buttons right here are touch buttons, unfortunately. If I had it my way, I definitely do prefer the physical button. But again, that's perfectly fine, to each their own when it comes to a headset. Now, it will show you the charging lights on the front. Now, there's a total of 4 lights in the front. Now, obviously, it's only 2 because it's halfway charged or closer to 25%. Say about 50%, 25% per light. So we're in the 50-ish, maybe a little bit lower. Right here. Excuse me. Still getting over my cold, but I do feel a lot better, so add more energy to the conversation. When you pop the headset inside, it will show that they are charging. So one good thing is it'll give you an indicator so you actually have an idea of how charged your headset is. Most do that, but the actual left and right side do it in this particular one. Unlike certain Galaxy Buds or AirPods or certain devices, this one, you'll know if your left ear is fully charged. You'll know if your right ear is fully charged. All right, so let's go forward to what does the headset actually do. Now, this does have ambient sound mode. So what I want to do is take these both out for a moment and just give you a quick rundown of each function. So if you hold the touch button for 2 seconds right here, put them up, it will actually put the headset in ambient mode. And when you hold it again, it'll turn it off. In addition to that, if you hold one equalizer just for a couple seconds, let's say 2 seconds, it'll give you more specific details. That's hard for me to say that word, my lisp. Anyway, to give you more details, basically if you hold it for 2 seconds, what'll happen is it'll allow you to change the equalizer between music, movies, and podcasts. Now, personally, I keep mine on music most of the time, especially with like rock and different types of music that I listen to. Really, it's based on the ear of the beholder. You do have the option to choose which one you want to have. Now, as for the ambient, you hold it for actually, you hold it, it throws the ambient. When you tap it twice and hold it, it goes to the equalizer. So let me correct myself on that one. You do have the option to pair this with Tile, which is basically that tracker. Personally, I don't use that. I do have one, but I'm not a fan of carrying something that just has a battery on my hip out in the open in the elements, so I don't really use it. I gave it to my wife. Excuse me. In order to use your voice assistant, you would tap this button 3 times. Your voice assistant will pop up. Which, to be honest, if I'm going to use that realistically, I'm just going to pull my phone out. So it's much more simplistic. Because sometimes, if you're not familiar with the touch on some of these devices, it's a little bit difficult to be able to do that. To answer and hang up a phone call, you will tap the button twice. Remember, that's when you're receiving an incoming call, and that's when you're trying to hang up on someone. So different taps during different circumstances do mean different things. So let me spin these around so you can just see how they look. I like them. They're actually crafted pretty well. If you're trying to do volume up on the volume down on the left-hand side, you'll press it, volume down. On the right-hand side, you'll press up, volume up, and that's how you change that. Now, they do have the option to manually turn these off, which you would hold the power buttons for 4 seconds. Now, you may wonder, well, why would you need to do that? Well, sometimes headsets aren't synced properly. And so by turning them off and turning them back on, they'll be able to auto pair to each other, or there is a way to actually reset them, which they should give you the option to do that in the manual. Or as a matter of fact, if you hold both of them for, let's say 4 seconds, that's when they'll auto pair to each other, and then you're actually able to reset the pairing. Because again, all products aren't perfect. Sometimes they act up on occasion. It doesn't mean your headset is broke. It could just mean they're out of sync. It happens. What else do we have here? That is pretty much it. So that's basically the functions of the headset itself. So like I said, double tap to pick up. I would have preferred a single tap, but it is what it is. It's not that big of a deal. 9 times out of 10, I normally double tap to hang up anyways. I have Galaxy Buds. The only headset that was really a single tap in recent years for me was that was super easy and very comfortable were the what are those headphones called? The Studio Beat Buds. I'll give them that. I didn't like those headphones like that, but I will say that they did a very good job of just having that one press hang up answer feature that I did love. So anyway, that's the physical headset itself. What I'm going to do now is cut away, and we're going to go outside, do a little video of how it sounds in busy traffic. Because if I do a video inside, most of these speakers sound perfectly fine indoors. We want to hear how it sounds outdoors. So I'll cut away, and I'll get right back to it. All right, so we're doing a little test right now where this is how the headphones are going to sound indoors in a more quiet area. And right now we're going to go outside. So you can just get some of that beautiful Philadelphia air. So this is how your microphones are going to sound typically with, an area that has just a little bit more noise. So as you can tell, it does pick up noise in the background, but I actually hear myself speaking a little bit louder because I can actually hear everything around me. Obviously, I'm not playing music, but, some headphones have that suction noise. We're not talking about active noise cancellation because these don't have them. We're talking about some headphones just fill in the ear canal with the rubber tips where it kind of isolates noise. But these do give you the freedom to be able to hear what's around you, which ultimately, illegal U-turn, look at that. Anyway, uh, just watch this guy do a legal U-turn. So basically, this is the video for the audio. So if you feel that this sounds good, if you're doing recording, if you're outside, just be aware of the fact that it's going to pick up a lot of noise around you. Not too much, but enough. Okay, so ultimately, we did the sound test of how it sounds indoors and it sounds outdoors. And I just got to add a little feedback to that. It does sound a little echoey when you're talking to someone in real time. Unfortunately, I don't want to, let you know what conversation I have with my wife, but basically, she said that it did sound like I was like in a tunnel. She said I could understand everything that I was saying, but it did sound like wind was blowing, like it was hitting the headset itself. So what you hear when you see the video may sound fine to you, but what someone else is what someone hears during a phone call, they might hear a little bit more, especially if it's windy, especially if it's not a sunny day or something. You can hear all the noises and just chirping. It's everything happening inside your backgrounds, while other headsets do typically do a better job of isolating that noise. Just be aware of the fact that this is what you're going to get with that. Now, if we're talking about music quality, it's true to the Skull Candy brand. Honestly, I can't say anything negative about Skull Candy's music capabilities. To be honest, if I had to choose between these and the Beats Pros, I'm going to choose these. And it may sound crazy to say that, but the Beats is generally a $149 generic product. And what I mean by generic is you can tell certain products are pushed out, similar to cheaper smartphones, knowing that the specs haven't really changed, but in a person's mind, it's the next best thing. It's a newer thing, so they upgrade. So when you get something of this build quality and look, I'll be honest with you, to me, this looks better than the Beats in terms of build quality. When you just feel it, how the headset feels in your ear, they're very, very comfortable, but they don't have top tier call quality. Now, the Beats do have better call quality than this particular pair, which obviously it should at a $150 price point. But if you're using it for music, strictly, mostly music for the most part, or videos, different things, this is good enough. It's good enough. And what people need to understand is you can go to the store and spend $300 for a pair of earbuds to do what? You're going to talk, you're going to text. Are you making music? Are you doing it's not necessary to buy something for that price point unless you just want it. If you're an audiophile, you guys are in this conversation because this is the type of video for you. Like an audiophile is going to know to buy a particular product, and they know that these products cost a lot of money, while the average consumer just wants something that works. And I'll keep this in the video. So anyway, if you come across a Ross or Burlington and they sell this for $29.99, these are called the Indy Evo, as you can see right here. Get these. These are decent. Because there is another pair of these that uses the regular micro USB and is an older model that has half the battery life and all that, which is terrible. But this particular pair is actually good. And like I was saying before, Skull Candy does make decent products. The problem is that they charge way too much. So, verdict time. Is this worth $79? Absolutely not. Is this worth $69? Absolutely not. Is it worth $49? Yes. I think this should honestly be priced at $50. And a lot of times you'll see these on sale. You'll see them on Amazon. You'll see them different places. And you can get them for that price point, if not cheaper. And that's what I think that they're worth. And the reason I say that is because there's Anchor, there's JLabs, there are other companies that sell similar, if not better quality buds for either the same price or cheaper. And so it doesn't make sense to get Skull Candy just because of the name. The moment we let go of name brands and just look at for a product for what it is, that will determine if it's worth getting. Anyway, if you find it for dirt cheap, absolutely pick them up. If you're a Skull Candy lover and you're like, oh, I'm on the fence about this, and you have a pair and you like them, that's fine. I'm not saying that they're bad. But when we talk about other price points of $70, $80, the red pair are $79.99, depending on where you shop. While this pair normally is $69. Currently at Best Buy, selling it for $59.99. So again, it really depends on where you find it. And if you're fine with $60, I don't think you'll have a problem. You'll have that signature Skull Candy sound that you're used to. Decent battery life, 6 hours. I mean, that's typically the average battery life at this point with ANC for most devices. A lot of them actually, but that's fine. Some people don't care about ANC. Some people don't care about, um, all the extra bells and whistles. Sometimes you just want something straight to the point and just so you can move on your life. And this is definitely the headset for that. So anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Like, subscribe, and all that fun, exciting stuff. And that's about it.